back with class 8 physics chapter 2, which is friction. Now let's see, in this chapter we'll be studying what is a friction, causes of friction, factors affecting friction, types of friction, advantages of friction, how to increase friction, how to reduce friction, disadvantages of friction, and what's drag. Now let's see the main topic, which is what is friction. Friction, when two surfaces are in contact with each other, the force and opposite motion of one body over the other is friction. Now here I have an image. Now this above is the moving object and the below one is the surface in contact. Now if you are pushing it in this direction, you are applying a force. Now your force will be opposite to, if you are pushing in one direction, the friction will be in opposite direction and the motion will be opposite of friction. Now this is friction. Friction is a contact force. Now friction is caused due to two points, that is interlocking of surface and force of adhesion. Now interlocking of surfaces. Now in a rough surface there are many irregularities. So here the part which has gone inside is called as a valley, and the obliged part or the part which has come forward is called as a hill. Now these two are the irregularities present. If one more is rough surface is joined with it, here friction will be here and here. Another valley will come here due to another rough surface, and the contact here, another valley will come and the friction will happen, and we can't remove it. We need to add a lot of force. Now force of adhesion. Now here are two rough surfaces joined. Here will be some atoms. Here some atoms and molecules will be there. These atoms and molecules, when come in contact, they start attracting each other. As we know, there are many types of atoms. They start attracting due to electrostatic force. Now they attract due to electrostatic force. That type of force is nothing but force of adhesion. Now we'll see factors that affect friction. Factors that affect friction are it is nature of surface and weight of object. Now nature of surface, some will be frictionless objects, as some will be made for moving in smooth surface like glass. If it moves in rough surface, it will tend to break. Whereas some cars are made such that they are able to go in a rough surface also. And weight of the object. If the weight of the object will be high, we apply a lot of force, then the frictional force will also be more. And if the weight is less, the friction will be also less. So now here in weight of object we get a word, that is limiting friction. That is limiting friction. Now limiting friction is the maximum value of the frictional force that is required by an object to just overcome the frictional force to just begin the movement. It's the only force that is needed by an object to just move. Now we'll see the types of friction. There are three types of frictions: static friction, sliding friction, and rolling friction. Static friction is the friction that exists between two surfaces where there is no relative motion. Example for that is carpet dragged over the floor. Here one surface example of carpet dragged from the floor. Now suppose this is the floor and the carpet is being dragged from here to the other part of the floor. Here only the carpet will be moving and there will be no relative motion between them. So that is static friction. Now sliding friction. As the name suggests, the friction. Now here the friction will occur at this point where the both are contact with each other. Now sliding friction. The friction that exists between two surfaces where one slides over the other. Example, moving a load in a slope. Now in truck we will be seeing that a heavy object will be moved from a small slide. That is here. Now if this is an object, it will be easy to move if it's the sliding friction. Now from here it will be moved to here and the friction here, it will be from here to here because of the contact force, and here the contact force will be occurring as friction is a contact force. Now rolling friction. The friction that exists between two surfaces where one object rolls over the other. Now example is movement of vehicle. Now we know vehicles have tires and the road will be fixed and the tires will be rotating where one will be fixed and the tires are rotating and moving. The friction will occur at the point where the tire touches the road. Now let's move to advantages of friction. Helps us to move, walk. Now our legs and our floor will be in touch and the friction will be there and it helps us to walk. Helps vehicle to move. As we have studied now, the friction, tires and the floor have friction there, so it will move. Helps to hold things. Now it helps to hold things as we have grip. Here there will be friction between the object and our hand. Now helps us to write. It's a friction between the paper and the pen nib. Helps nail and screw to be held together. Now nail and screw, the point where screw and nail meet, there will be friction. So friction helps them to be held together. Helps machine part to be held together. Same all machine parts to be gathered and to be in still place. Now we will see how to increase friction. Friction can be increased by grooving. Grooving is nothing but on our sport shoes we have small nib-like structures. It is also present on tires. Those are grooved. By using sand. Sand is used to increase friction. We see wrestlers rubbing their hands so that they get more grip on the opponent's body. For ice shoes, by using spikes. When you climb on ice, you need a grip, hold to a grip. If friction is more there, it will be very advantageous. Now by increasing the weight, it can be, now as we have studied here, limiting friction is a reason for increasing the weight of the to make the friction more. Now we'll see how to reduce friction. By polishing a surface, we can make it smooth. Now as we see, if sandpaper is rubbed to before painting so that the wall will become smooth and the paint will be held perfectly by the bond. By cementing roads. Cementing the roads means we see the road will be cemented to make it smooth. By using ball bearings. Ball bearings are provided for machines so that they reduce friction. Oil and lubricants are also added to reduce friction and increase the lifetime of the machine parts. By sprinkling soft powder, we see in carom, we add carom powder so that the surface becomes very smooth. Now, as there will be disadvantages, there will be also disadvantages for friction. It reduces efficiency. After a period of time, it reduces the life of the machines. It leads to wear and tear of machines. It may tear and it related to efficiency. It may damage shoes and wheels, as there will be lot of friction. It may damage them. It loses energy in the form of heat. When we rub our hands, we see that there will be friction between the two hands, and we see that heat is produced. That is the loss of energy. Now let's come to the last topic of our lesson, that is drag, force exerted by fluids. Fluids may be both liquids and gases. Fluids is nothing but that flows. We see that liquid also flows and gas also flows. So it will be based on the resistance. So this is drag. Thank you for this video. Thank you.